quickly run you through a few things. The first thing that I did was I have my 2x4 framing, and I call this the upper portion, and this is the lower portion of the frame. And what we did is we laid them flat, and we did a double stack. Just again, my laser level or normal level. And I laid them out 5 inches center. I gave myself 6 inches to fit into the space that we had. And then that way, then I just posted them on. And of course, we always test the lights to make sure that they're working before we install them. We like to install with the lights on. I still have my laser level up top for leveling purposes, but we want to always see the wall to see how it's being lit. So I always like to use a level just to always ensure that the MR product is installed perfectly level. So I'm going to utilize the pre-drilled holes that already come with the wall. And just since I'm by myself, I'm just using a little ledge piece underneath the frame just to help me level everything off. So now that we have the first MR installed, what we want to do is we're going to put a little stiffener behind it. What we want to do is we want to span the seam, so half and half. Now if we need to bridge this gap, we like to use horseshoe shims when we need to bridge this space in this gap. So now with the acrylic piece, we have a stiffener in the middle, but of course with the acrylic we have no shadow, so it doesn't interfere with the lighting of the wall at all. Now, since I have 2 more panels to install, I'm just going to repeat those steps 2 more times. Now we're on the 3rd and final wall, and we're always just checking again, double checking, triple checking to make sure everything is nice and level and that the face is fitting well, and we're always checking and looking at the seams and making sure that they fit well, and there's a good example of a perfect fit. So here's a good example of the seams and making the seams disappear. We did a little test right here, and this is actually with silicone. As you can see, it's a great guide again to have the lights on. And then that way you can see, get the density of how much silicone or adhesive you need to put to actually match the lighting of the seams. So the final segment that we'll be looking at, now that we have all 1, 2, 3 panels in, the only thing left you have to do are the seams. And again, that's why we work with the backlight on, so that we can see the light coming through, which will eventually, whether we're using silicone or adhesive, will go away. You see it's a bit dense now, and then you'll work it just as if you're painting. You'll start to work it to get it back to having the same amount of light shining through. So there's a consistency, and it will blend right in with the rest of the seams.